Good Sunday morning, everybody. It is June the 1st. Wow. We're June. 6 months. Already this year is half over. Well, almost. I'm Chris Allen. Welcome in to 270 weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. Well, this morning we're starting pretty quiet. Not much going on here at what time is it? 6:10, 6:11. There it is, back in the back, the clock. 6:11. Okay. So we were supposed to get, or I thought we would get, a few showers yesterday afternoon, maybe even some strong thunderstorms that never did develop this morning. We've got the hazy sky once again, like we saw yesterday morning, and that's from the Canadian wildfires. And we're seeing some of the smoke all the way down here in Kentucky, like the song, Smoke from a Distant Fire. Oh, that was a great song. Back in the 70s, I believe it was Sanford Townsend Band, like 1976, 77, somewhere in there. Uh, yeah. Anyway, the good old days. So we're looking at some of the haze this morning from the Canadian wildfires, and it's kind of giving a nice hazy look to the sky, and especially in the sunrises and sunsets, they look especially orange and a little brownish in color, which is not bad. Air quality might not be so good, but at least we're off to a good start. And I think much of the day is going to be just fine. We could see some shower and thunderstorm activity, though, as we head into this afternoon. Now, yesterday's storms that were supposed to be, they didn't happen here. They did happen in central and eastern Kentucky, but none of them developed here. The air mass was pretty stable. And as you can see back there, that's Fox weather. Yeah, they're talking about the auroras that could be seen last night. I don't know if anybody could see them here because you could not see them with just looking up with your eyes. You had to have a camera to actually see the auroras. So northern lights were a spectacle in some parts of the country last evening. I don't know if they happen here or not. I'll start looking around social media. I'm sure if they did happen, somebody would get pictures of it. All right, now we move on to the radar, and we'll see if there is anything out there. Well, let's start with satellite. Yeah, we'll start with the satellite view this morning. And where did it go? Why isn't it showing me the satellite? Oh, there it is. I just have to push the button. That's why. There it is. So satellite view showing, yes, there's haze, but there's also some high clouds that you can see down to the south and west of us this morning. And that's it. Radar. So how about radar? Let me switch over to the radar here with the WeatherWise radar app. And you can see there's nothing. All this is ground clutter down here in around the Nashville Doppler radar site. So no rain anywhere close to us. It is a fairly quiet morning. We go to the Kentucky Mesonet now. We check Mesonet temperatures as of 6:14, and you can see, look at these 40s up in northeastern Kentucky. Wow, that's nice and cool, chilly even. Yeah. We're seeing 50s. In fact, the further south you go, it's mid to upper 50s to around 60. And it's going to continue to warm up today. I think we're going to go back into the 80s. In fact, well, I'll have to, after I do the mesonet, I'll have to back up and show you the numbers from yesterday. Did anybody receive any rainfall yesterday? Not around here. That we were supposed to had a upper wave, kind of a boundary come in and touch off a few showers, but it didn't happen. Now, the folks out east of us, as I mentioned, central and eastern Kentucky picked up the rain yesterday that we thought we would get, but it didn't happen. That 72 hundredths, almost three quarters of an inch of rain, that happened in Clay County, Kentucky, Manchester, way over there in the eastern part of the state, way up in the hills and hollers. But as far as the 270, nothing, nothing at all. Winds right now are light and variable. And then let's look at moisture. The dew points are somewhat muggy. Not really. I mean, it's more muggy is probably not the right word. There's um little bit more moisture in the air. So if we get something to trigger some showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, then there's some available moisture now to do that. Maybe I don't think there was enough yesterday. It was just too dry here at the surface. Right now, the dew points are very close to the air temperature, upper 50s to around 60. So it is going to get more humid as we go through your Sunday. And eventually, we're going to get, I think today, unlike yesterday, we will get some showers and thunderstorms. Not everybody's going to get that, but it is a possibility. Let's go to the maps, and we see low pressure system and the front, the boundary, the one to the east, which is stalled out. There's some fog and smoke over in southeastern Kentucky. Well, at least smoke enough to cause that hazy view to the sky. We have it here too, but not as pronounced as maybe over to the east of us, again in the hills and hollers, where it just kind of gets trapped. Let's go through the day now. That frontal boundary to the north will begin to park itself over Bowling Green and the 270 and part of the 606 as we go through the morning into the afternoon. Then it's going to stall, and with some daytime heating and with some of that available moisture I showed you, I do think this time we have a better chance of getting a few showers and thunderstorms. Now, it's not going to be a lot. We may get up to about a tenth of an inch from any storms that do pop up, but that boundary setting here, I think we're better. We have a better chance of getting rain today as we did not yesterday. So this will be the focus this afternoon for some of that activity. And then after sunset, it all fades away as the front goes south. We lose the daytime heating and everything just kind of fades away. So as we get into overnight and into early Monday morning, the front begins to stall again, but this time much further south and west. High pressure builds in for us. Here we go into Monday morning, Monday evening, into Tuesday. Look, no rain, no rain. Can it be possible? Wednesday, no rain. Well, look back here. Oh yeah, I knew it couldn't. I knew it couldn't go very far. We couldn't go very long with just a dry, sunny weather period. Things are going to warm up and heat up, and it's going to become humid in the coming days with the full sunshine, uh, heat, and humidity. But here we go into Thursday, Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll begin to see showers and thunderstorms, heavier rain back to the west on Wednesday and Thursday. Then Thursday night into Friday, here comes a cold front, and this will pop off Again, some better rain and thunderstorm chances. It looks now the best opportunity is going to be Thursday night into the first half of Friday. And here's next Saturday, the front stalls, and guess what? We keep rain in the forecast. More scattered, but rain, yes, in your at least the beginning of the weekend. What about any severe weather chances? Well, there may be one this afternoon, but it just depends on where you are. Now, yesterday, we had parts of eastern Kentucky painted in a level 1 marginal risk. That never really developed. I mean, a few storms out that way did develop, but I did not see, unless I just missed seeing it, some severe weather, but I think it was just kind of a precautionary thing. And today it's probably like that too. Look at where the level 1 marginal risk is. It's Bowling Green south to Nashville, and then east to the extreme southeastern part of Kentucky and the Cumberland Plateau. You're talking about places like Crossville, then Knoxville, and then the Tri Cities, Asheville, North Carolina, places like that. That's where the level 1 marginal risk will be for this afternoon. And you can see it's kind of laying as that front, that boundary, which is over us this morning. It's just going to stall out. And I think with enough daytime heating, which we'll have, there's enough available moisture to tap into to spark thunderstorms. And some of those might be a bit strong. But there is no tornado threat, or at least nothing that's, you know, I have a hard time saying a non, how should I put this? It's not zero. Okay. I never say zero when there is a risk, because we saw what happened the other day in Washington County. So there wasn't even a risk there, and it happened. So I won't say it's zero risk. I never really want to say that. There is a damaging wind threat possible if we get things going. Hail threat is pretty much not there. It's further south and east. Looking at the rest of the week, here's Monday, nothing. All right. Whoa, there's Monday. Okay. Sorry about that. Here's Tuesday. Now, Tuesday, we begin to see a severe weather threat in the plains. And then it starts to try to work its way south and east, even though we're out of it. By Wednesday or Thursday, we could be back in it. But here, the Storm Prediction Center does not have us in on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. But it is one of those situations where that could change. That could change. So just be aware that even though we're not painted in, it's a possibility that it could be painted in later, a risk area for us. All right, what about the blender? Well, the last couple of days it's been very close. It's been right where um, the models have predicted, low 80s. We'll do that again today. And then we're looking at mid and upper 80s, maybe even close to 90 as we get into the middle of the week. Will we hit 90? If we do, it would be the first time this year. And since today is the first day of June, and yesterday was the last day of May, this is 3 consecutive Mays for Bowling Green that we have not hit 90. Now, normally the big to do would be, oh, it's May and we've exceeded 90. every year. Oh my goodness. Warming, warming. Danger, Will Robinson. Warning, warning. But that hasn't happened for 3 years, 3 years in a row. During the month of May, we have not hit 90. So what that says is maybe it's not so much about the warming. It's been damp and it's been cool. Duh. So, all the hype goes down the toilet where it should be. It's going to get warm when it wants to get warm. It's the pattern that sets up. And who knows? I mean, after all the dampness and the coolness that we've had so far this spring, who knows what summer holds for us? I hope not a drought. I hope, because sometimes when these things happen, when the pattern sets up to where it's wet, 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 and cool, 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 all of a sudden when the script gets flipped, then it's dry and it's hot. I'm hoping that's not the case, but we'll see. Too soon to say. But anyway, here we go with teasing around 90 Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we kind of hold, if this holds true, we will just kind of sit in the mid 80s after that. There will be those rain chances Wednesday night, Thursday, and Friday, maybe even a little bit of Saturday. So that's going to help keep the numbers down just a bit. But even after that, as we get into the following week, temperatures maintain the mid 80s. All right. Now, let me go back up here. Speaking of temperatures, I didn't show this. Yesterday's high in Bowling Green was 81, 2 degrees cooler than normal. And the low was 62 and no rainfall for the past 24 hours or for the day yesterday. So here's a look at the 7-day forecast. You go 81 today. By the way, today's the kickoff of Duncan Hines Days, the big Duncan Hines Festival. All the events taking place, most of them downtown Bowling Green, but all around the area. We've got events going on. You got a duck race. That's why all the little duckies are on there all the way through the rest of the week. Um, and so, hey, it's going to be fun. A lot of things going on. You can go to their website, uh, Duncan Hines. I think it's DuncanHinesDays.com. If not, you can go to the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce and some of the other websites and get the information of all the activities. We go 54 tonight, 83 tomorrow. Look at all the sunshine here. Next several days, heating up, yes, and becoming more humid. Now, Wednesday night, even though it's not painted in here, Wednesday night is when we'll start to see some rain. Then we see scattered showers, thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And by the way, this coming weekend is the beginning of the 400-mile yard sale along 6880, most of 68, and not all of 80. 80 splits off. Well, in Western Kentucky, once you get out to the land between the lakes, 6880 split off again. Then it goes all through, Hopkinsville and Elkton, Russellville, Bowling Green, Glasgow. But when you get over to Edmonton, 6880 splits again. But you want to stay on the 68. It runs from Paducah, goes all the way up to Maysville. That's on the Ohio River. So that starts this weekend. Looks like it's going to be a pretty typical yard sale weekend. It's almost every year it's like this. 80s with a chance of showers somewhere. So that will be the case once again. So, it's starting to become that time of year when there's a lot of stuff going on. That's good. it's summertime or getting close to summertime, and that's okay. We are kind of used to it. Let's see here. So, Jody, not good hay cutting weather. You need a little bit more. You just haven't had enough dry days to cut hay. And getting 2, maybe 3 probably isn't enough for you, is it? You need a good 4, 5 days of everything because then, with all this wet weather, those of you that do raise and cut hay, you've had to worry about mold, and you've had to worry about the dampness that's in your fields, and just getting out there has been a struggle because it's been too wet. It's been muddy, and it's just ugh. So hay cutting is going to be a challenge if you're trying to do that. Even mowing your lawn has been a challenge. Just been too wet, but it's given us guys, it's like, we walk over to the window, we stand there with our cup of coffee and we stare out the window and it's like, yep, too wet. Ain't gonna mow today. Kind of like Hank Hill. Yep, ain't mow today. Bobby dadgummit. By the way, that reminds me, there is a King of the Hill revival coming. I think it's August 4th. Yes, new episodes of King of the Hill. It's on Hulu. It's going to be on Hulu. And they're all 15 years older, including Bobby. Dag it, Bobby, propane and propane services. They're all going to be back. Even Dale. Hank, it's a conspiracy, Hank. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you did not know this, but I do the voices for Hank Hill and all the rest of them. King of the Hill. I've just kind of kept that on the down low. Nobody really knows about it, but yep, Boomhauer's a little bit harder. Well, I tell you what, dang on, well, I'll tell you what, that's about as much as I can do. Anyway, how did we get off on King of the Hill? I don't know. But anyway, you guys have a great Sunday. Thank you as always